Go to Tools, Installation. The installation screen opens up in the Phase 1. Set the required information. Touch the Next button to initiate the valve test. All the valves are tested for their functionality and checkbox selected against each valve when test is completed. Under normal circumstances, tick-tick of the solenoid valve switch can be heard. Make sure the printhead is clean and dry. Jet is not running and printhead cover is fitted. Touch Next button to start the EHT calibration. Please wait until the calibration is done. Touch the Next button to continue. Verify the nozzle size settings is set correctly. Touch the Next button to continue. Carefully pull and lift the ink system from the ink compartment and place it securely on a flat surface beside the printer. Turn off the mains power switch of the printer. Remove the 3 T10 Torx screws that fasten the ink system cover to the ink system using a T10 Torx driver. Retain the T10 Torx screws for later use. Lift the ink system cover and disconnect the ribbon cables and ground cable from the valve connector board. Retain the ribbon cables and ground cable for later use. Disconnect the pump cable from the valve connector board. Next, we will use this priming block. Ensure two O-rings are retained in position. Use the M3 hex key to remove the two M4X35 socket head cap screws that hold the pump saddle clamp to the ink system. Retain these screws for later use. Note: ensure the O-rings are retained in position under the pump. Insert two M4X35 screws to mount priming block on pump adapter. Note: ensure two O-rings are retained in position. Secure the ink pump on the priming block using two M4 screws. Note: ensure that the pump is secured tightly in place. Ensure the O-rings are retained in position under the pump. Switch the ink pressure connector for priming, ensuring the black strip tubing is connected correctly. Reattach the ink pump power cable connector. Loosen ribbon cable from ink system cover as required and reconnect ribbon cable and ground cable to valve connector board. Power on the printer and confirm the system can recognize the ink correctly. Navigate to Tools, Installation, and touch on Load Ink. Ensure one cartridge of fresh ink is inserted and touch Next to continue. Please check whether there is any leakage in the black strip ink tubing joint, ink pump and priming block. Ink is loaded to the mixer tank. The load ink process lasts about 8 minutes. Note, mixer tank level will increase from empty to middle. Now that the load ink is complete, check screen prompts. If the mixer tank level is medium, touch Next. If the mixer tank level is low, touch Repeat to load ink again until the mixer tank level becomes medium. If touch Repeat load ink for a while and the mixer tank level still can't reach medium, insert a new ink cartridge and touch Repeat again until the mixer tank level becomes medium. Remove the ribbon cable and ground cable from the valve connector board. Use the M3 hex key to remove 2 screws for pump saddle clamp. Then take down the pump saddle clamp and remove another 2 M4X35 screws which hold the priming block. Take out the priming block quickly and put it on the lint-free paper. Open the ink pressure connector and switch back to its original connection. Ensure 2 O-rings are retained in position. Use M4X35 screw to mount the ink pump on the ink system correctly. Reconnect the ink pump cable to the valve connector board. Ensure the ribbon cable and ground cable are routed correctly through the ink cover and remain connected. Next, prepare to execute prime fluid lines. Remove the printhead cover screw that fastens the printhead cover to the printhead chassis and remove the printhead cover. To prevent nozzle clogs, always wear rubber gloves whenever the front tubing manifold is disconnected from the printhead valve module. Remove the M2X6 socket head cap screw that attaches the front tubing manifold to the printhead valve module. Ensure to gasket are retained in position. Fit the nozzle bypass manifold that has the loop of tube to the printhead valve module using the M2X6 socket head screw. Put a receptacle under the printhead to catch the makeup fluid during flushing. Ensure waste container is correctly earthed to printhead cover screw. Touch the next button to continue. Open the quick disconnect in the middle of the loop. Touch the next button to continue. Make sure that the fluid is going through the flush supply line and finally exiting the bypass manifold. Verify fluid is makeup, clear, and not ink. System flush purge lasts about 8 minutes. Connect the quick disconnect in the middle of the bypass manifold. Touch the next button to continue. Touch the next button to continue. Select stop after approximate 15 minutes to end the sequence. The next button will be enabled. Note, this sequence will not stop automatically. Touch the stop button to continue. Touch the next button to continue. Prime fluid lines completed. Remove the nozzle bypass manifold and reconnect the nozzle manifold. Select next to continue. Touch next and remove the nozzle bypass manifold and reconnect the nozzle tubing manifold. Note, ensure to gasket are retained in position. Touch the next button to continue. Remove makeup cartridge from printer. Touch the next button to continue. Touch the next button to continue. The nozzle back flush operation is ready to start. Follow instruction on screen. Touch the next button to continue. Nozzle back flush is OK. Let the nozzle dry completely. Touch the next button to continue. Jet is started. To confirm correct jet operation, a sheet of paper is required to be placed under the printhead. Touch the next button when in place. Select the image on the UI that most closely reflects the image on the sheet of paper. Touch the next button to continue. If the selected image is not acceptable, a nozzle back flush needs to be performed. Follow the instructions to perform nozzle back flush. After the nozzle back flush is complete, the check will be repeated. Once the jetting check is successful, the operation will continue. Note: in order not to dilute the ink in tank too much, the limit number of nozzle flushes is 10. To carry out viscosity calibration, the jet must be running and the status bar is gray and shows printhead ready. Clear any warnings that are present to proceed. The ink system will stabilize, and once complete, viscosity calibration will start. Record target pressure before and after calibration. Note: touch the repeat button if the calibration needs to be repeated. Once viscosity calibration is done, touch the next button to continue. Replace the printhead cover before starting the print quality test. Touch the print button to start the test print. Follow the instructions to complete the test print. Review the prints for errors. Once complete, touch the Done button to continue to Phase 3 installation. Touch the Next button to continue. Reinsert a makeup cartridge. Select Done to continue. Confirm the printer information shown is correct. The printer serial number is displayed along with the default printer name. To enter a unique printer name, touch the text box to enter the required name and touch Accept button to save. Touch the Next button to continue. The printer serial number can be found on the side of the printer on the rating label. Now that the installation has reached the final step, move the printhead to the production line. Go to Tools, Printer Settings, Printhead Control, Printhead Elevation. Enter the current printhead elevation. If the printhead elevation is lower than the point where the umbilical exits the cabinet, the printhead elevation needs to be set to a negative number. This parameter directly affects the viscosity control of the printer, which is very important. Please enter the correct printhead elevation value.